Thriving business. As you kickstart off your day, just to remind you that it would be better for you to invest in bonds and securities. And the bonds and securities that you can use to invest are Zabo. Zabo, a platform by Altex East Africa, says do something new. And of course, if you are to do something new, the best way to do it is by investing in bonds and securities. The platform thereafter is Zabo. Zabo says my money, my future. So your money, your future can definitely be something to look upon and ensure that you invest in heavily. Star 292 hash is the USSD code for the MTN subscribers, and that is how swiftly and fast you can rely on to Zabo platform that Altex East Africa to invest in bonds and securities. The markets do open at 8:15 a.m. and close at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. So we're only 12 minutes away from the markets opening on the particular platform. So you should think about that before you invest in any other thing. Invest in intangible assets and see your money grow. Altex East Africa says do something new. Now, besides that, more inspiration is coming up this particular morning as we head into our business tip of the day. And the business tip says focus on the leads, not sell. Content marketing paired with optimized website forms and intelligent email automation follow-up is very critical to the business success. Now, this approach builds trust by giving away free value before asking. So for someone who's had money, it should be better for you to first of all give leads. Focus on the leads, not the sales, because these particular leads are the ones that are creating room for that particular sale of yours that you want your business to achieve. So in most of the areas, it is sometimes we tend to go off track, thinking that we have to focus more on these particular, if I am to call it, should I say, the sales, the profits the business is going to bring for us, forgetting that it is very wise of us to always remember that there are things that lead to these sales. We have to work upon or work towards ensuring that these sales are viable, that these sales are automatic, that these sales are happening in one way or the other. That is according to what is coming up from that particular one, the sales. Make sure that the sales of your business are definitely not the key priority you're looking at, but what is bringing the sale for your business. That is the business tip for this morning. You can add that onto your business ideas anytime, any day. Now let's get our motivation quote this morning as well. Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter, says make every detail perfect and limit the number of details to perfect. Quote that says a lot in context if you're to look at it in the inside, that if you're to make every detail perfect, make sure you limit the number of the details you're perfecting. So that you can, it's just more like do everything perfectly step by step, so that you limit the kind of things that you're going to be the kind of details that you want to perfect. Sometimes we end up crashing because we want to eat what we cannot swallow. So eat everything, but slowly by slowly, and that way it will be possible for you to at least get more of that particular one. So that is our business quote of what is coming up. All right, now as we are actually moving in from that, we head on ground this particular morning just to give you a quick update of the CEO Forum 2022. This is the 13th edition of the particular annual CEO's edition, annual CEO Forum of this year. Now, the 2022 edition is coming to you this particular time. Let's get more from Pedison Mumbere to give us what is happening and what we do expect from the summit in there.
You're most welcome, Sonko. We're here at Mistel at the 13th edition of the CEO Forum, and with me is Mr. Stephen Mukasa, who is the Managing Director of the CEO Summit, and he's going to tell us why we're here and what exactly are we going to expect from this forum. Mr. Mukasa, you're most welcome to SMART24 TV, and you're live. Tell us what are going to be the expectations of this CEO Forum, and what is the difference between the CEO Forum and the CEO Summit, if you can connect us.
Thank you, Pedison, for having us, and thank you for being here to relay and cover this forum live. Yes, this is the 13th edition of the CEO Forum, and the theme of the forum is sustainability, strategic choices that matter. At the CEO Summit, we've been running this since 2009, after the crisis, the financial crisis, and then we saw it right and fitting that we should have the forum annually, bringing together captains of industry to discuss issues pertaining the economy, to discuss issues pertaining their companies, to discuss issues of how to be good leaders. So this year, as I've mentioned, the theme is on sustainability. And we know the simple definition of sustainability is taking care of the needs of today without compromising the needs or the ability of the future generation to take care of their own needs. So sustainability is a very key issue right now. It has been described in all facets, talking about profit, people, and the planet. Those are the 3 Ps. We talk about the triple bottom line of sustainability. Other people look at it as the 3 Es, talking about economy, equity, as well as economy, equity, and the environment. Yes.
So I've seen a couple of
discussing today and trying to bring. You see, those are 3 facets, or those are 3 arms. How do you get the equilibrium? How do we make sure that we don't overly focus on the planet, we don't overly focus on the people, we don't overly focus on profits? Though I think most of us focus on profits and we ignore the people and the planet. So we are trying to see how we can bring the 3 together and come up with an equilibrium.
I've seen a couple of people here. I've seen bankers, managers, and politicians. Which people are you targeting most especially in this forum?
We are targeting everyone. Sustainability is for everyone, and that's the myth that we want to demystify. Many people think sustainability is only for companies. Yes, because companies are the ones that drive the economy, quote unquote. Yeah. But if they are driving the economy, are they driving the economy at the expense of social equity? Who are the people? Are they driving the economy at the expense of the planet or the environment? So that's why yes, we have predominantly bankers in the room, we have predominantly CEOs or entrepreneurs, but sustainability touches all of us, and that's the myth that we want to demystify.
I want to look at the 2 things. You have the CEO Summit and the CEO Forum. Our view would want to know, what's the difference? How would you connect the 2? What does the other one do? What does the other one do?
Yes, the CEO Summit is a legal entity that was incorporated in 2008. So the CEO Summit is running the CEO Forum, and the CEO Forum runs annually. Yeah. So the CEO Summit is a think tank, a company that brings together the captains of industry, that brings together CEOs, gets them to catalyze, challenges them, and makes them better leaders, trying to get them to discover their next best selves. But in so doing, identifying gaps and helping them address those gaps. So that's what the mandate of the CEO Summit is.
Let's get back to sustainability. We have had very many farms in the country. We have had very many businesses starting in the country. But there's a problem of sustainability, like you said it. Most of them can't sustain themselves. There are some sayings that that a typical Ugandan business does not see its third birthday. That's the lack of sustainability. You are an expert in these things. What do you think we should do to sustain our businesses?
We need to check why can't, as you said, why can't certain startups get to see their third birthday or their fourth or the fifth? There is a lot to unpack there. It could be financing, could be capital injections, could be good governance. Because also here at this forum, we are going to talk about ESG. The E standing for economics, the E standing for environment, the S standing for social or people, and the G standing for governance. I want to talk about the G. How many companies out there are well run? How many companies are well run? You will discover that oftentimes if you don't run your company professionally by being compliant, chances are that you will never get to see your next birthday. Yes. So there is a lot that you can unpack when it comes to sustainability. So I hear you when you talk about certain companies not getting to see their third birthday, not getting to even to see their second birthday. It could be maybe poor investment decisions, low financing, mismanagement, poor location. So there is a lot you can unpack. Yeah, but you can't blame that on sustainability, because sustainability is all about taking care of the needs of today without compromising the ability of the future generation to take care of their needs. So that's why we're talking about climate action. We are depleting the environment. Are we thinking about those people who are coming after us? We saw what happened in Pakistan 2 months ago. We're told that 2/3 of Pakistan was submerged. Could it have been the disasters of those people who lived in Pakistan 20 years ago, and now the people of today are suffering? So these are some of the issues we would like to tackle. So the forum is just going to stimulate these ideas. We can't exhaust everything today. It's a half-day forum, but we are going to keep on having the same conversation. That's why at the end of the forum, we are going to launch the Sustainability Center, which will be the center of the CEO Summit that will keep the dialogue going, that will keep the conversation going.
Do you see this dialogue going to the grassroots person, even in the villages?
Yes, very, very good question. That's why we are partnering with the SDG Secretariat. We know that there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Goal number 1 talks about no poverty. Goal number 2 talks about zero hunger. These are issues that we want to address all the way to the person at the bottom line. We are getting companies. Where you are you taking care of your community? Are you taking care of the people who are around you? Yeah, so at the end of the day, this is taking care of the person at the grassroots. The S in the ESG, is on social equity. The people who are working for you, are you paying them the minimum wage? Because we know that behind every individual, there are many other individuals. So these are issues that we want to tackle here with these captains of industry, because we are told that when the fish is rotting, it begins rotting from the head. The more reason as to why we have to tackle. We are here dealing with the captains of industry. Yes, these are the people at the top, but we are also thinking about, because when they make the wrong decisions, who suffers? The person at the grassroots. So that's why I say that's a very good question. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sonko, and thank you, Mr. Stephen Mukasa. That's the Managing Director of the CEO Summit in the country here. Like he has said, there are very many things they're going to look at, but the theme of today's CEO Summit is sustainability. He has told you most of the things why most of the startups have failed. What should we do? You've heard from himself. And let's get back to the studio, and more of the news will be coming up in our bulletin, live business today, and some of the programs that will be running in the theme of the day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
He's live at Mestil Hotel in Zambia, and at the ongoing CEO Summit. That is the ongoing CEO Summit at Mestil Hotel. That is the 10th edition of the annual CEO Summit. So clearly, lots of discussions will be there, and key stakeholders of that particular summit will be giving us more. You shall be getting more of the discussions and the resolutions later on, and in our programming here on SMART24 TV. Better yet, Business Today tonight shall be giving you a more detailed report. Courtesy Pedersen Mumbere will be giving it out to you as well. Now, besides that, let's get back to the Smart Men's Business Daily programming as we switch our eyes to social media trends. Now, as of yesterday, a huge number of tweets all over the timeline on Twitter were actually tweeting Tanzania. And reason behind it is that there was an update. The Chronicles on Twitter, they tweet that the Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan cancels Independence Day celebrations due December 9th. She also directed that the 960 million Tanzanian shillings, that is approximately 445,000 or 445 million rand's franc budget for the event should be used to build dormitories for children with special needs. So one of the reasons as to why Tanzania was trending over social media, over the timeline, that is according to the Chronicles at Chronicles RW. Chronicles run that with that particular update in there regarding Tanzania. And also on the other hand, as Gibcash Sind Jafar did reveal, just in Tanzania's foreign exchange reserves can only now and for the first time in 5 years cover 4.2 months of imports. This has been attributed by the Bank of Tanzania to the negative economic effects of the conflict in Ukraine. Hashtag Tanzania, hashtag economy. Now, also on the other hand, Calvin Musinzi did tweet the Tanzanian president at Suluhu Samia cancels Independence Day celebrations due December 9th. She also directed that the $445,000 budget for the event to be used to build dormitories for children with special needs. Then the other one coming in from Joram Nkumbi, who tweeted that the key lesson for Tanzania to learn from Vietnam is that textiles, footwear, and headgear, machines including electronics and metals, should be the key areas of focus in manufacturing, as they will have continued spectacular growth over long periods of time. Then Robert on Twitter did tweet that UK exports to Tanzania have increased. UK exports of goods and services to the East African country in 12 months to June 2022 were worth £199 million, up 32.7% or £49 million on the 4 quarters to June 2021. That is according to data from the ONS in the UK. Tanzania has 64.5 million consumers of goods and services from the United Kingdom. Justice Hunter says that the negative, Justice Hunter at Hillary Taylor 6th did reveal that the negative externalities of the East African crude oil pipeline, EACOP, are irreversible and beyond imagination. So Uganda and Tanzania should invest a loan of $5 billion to invest in this carbon bomb, which is a clear pathway to climate hell in our region. Hashtag stop EACOP, hashtag at Total Energies. So he tweeted and also tagged those particular organizations. His against the Stop EACOP run that was being there for quite some time. Now, as it for social media trends, it was Tanzania mainly over the timeline, if you're to look at the business perspective from there. Now, besides that, let's get to our report in regards to fighting corruption within the country. And when you look closely, Uganda loses close to $10 trillion annually due to corruption. Now, fighting corruption in Uganda, let's get into the achievements of the anti-corruption agencies. Now, the Inspector General of Government has so far recovered $30 billion Ugandan shillings. The Office of the Auditor General, 175 billion Ugandan shillings. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, 10 billion Ugandan shillings. Criminal Investigations Directorate, 615 million Ugandan shillings. Look at the State House Anti-Corruption Unit has recovered 35.5 billion Ugandan shillings. State House Health Monitoring Unit recovering 1.5 billion Ugandan shillings. Then we've got the Financial Intelligence Authority recovering 6.4 billion Ugandan shillings. Not only that now, there is also the Leadership Code Tribunal recovering 5.9 trillion Ugandan shillings. That's a huge amount of money from the Leadership Code Tribunal recovering 5.9 trillion Ugandan shillings. If you're to break down a little bit of the achievements of the anti-corruption agencies in Uganda as we head into the International Anti-Corruption Day, which is slated for 9th, which will be a Friday. So basically, if we are to look at fighting against corruption, government continues to recover. If you're to look at that, a total of around 240 billion from thieving officials, with the fact that we are losing 10 trillion shillings annually from corruption tendencies and the vice of corruption that is eating up the entire country. So how are we going to work upon it to ensure that it does not add up or it does not grow as we actually seeing it? So that is some of the key achievements of the anti-corruption agencies in Uganda. When you look at the Inspector General of Government being able to recover 30 billion shillings, now the Office of the Auditor General did recover 170 billion Ugandan shillings. Then there is Office of the Directorate of Public Prosecution recovering 10 billion. Then Criminal Investigations Directorate recovering 615 million. Then State House Anti-Corruption Unit recovering 65.5 billion. State House Health Monitoring Unit recovering 1.5 billion Ugandan shillings. The Financial Intelligence Authority recovering 6.4 billion Ugandan shillings. That is how much we are definitely looking into the issue to do with corruption. So if you are to look at this one, to recover funds lost as a result of dishonest people, there is overstated payrolls, there is an issue of unpaid taxes, there is the Inspector General of Government and the anti-corruption agencies have now this time around decided to team up, by the way, and have asked the government to cooperate with the government, the Ugandans to cooperate with the government, that in case they get any case or they are to find someone engaging in corruption tendencies, they should report directly. There's a toll-free number as well to ensure that we kick out corruption in the government agencies and entirely in Uganda and out of Uganda. So that's it for this particular segment as we've broken it down for you. After the break, I'll be returning with sports business and Marija Andrew will be giving you the latest from the world of entertainment business. Stick around.